Yes, yes, yes. What is good, people, man? What is good? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully, you know what? I tried to go live last night, but it just wasn't working for me. So my apologies, man. But I seem to have fixed most of the issues on the stream. So hopefully, it's coming through live and clear. Hopefully, you can hear my audio clearly as well. Yeah, I've locked in. We're locked in. All right, man. Welcome to the show, man. We're gonna get jump straight back. Oh, not back into it. We're gonna just jump straight right into it. So yeah, I've got some trailers to go through. Apparently now with YouTube, you can actually watch some movie trailers. So I've been eagerly anticipating to do that on the stream because yeah, I don't really watch trailers nowadays, but you know, watching it with you guys will be really cool to get your viewpoints on stuff. And then we're gonna go through some of the most of the entertainment news of this week. So we've got some new streaming bundles coming out. Gonna get into that. Got some horror movie news with Blumhouse and the new Jason Voorhees universe that's coming up. I Know What You Did Last Summer. And then we're gonna get into some Amazon Prime information. And then yeah, it's gonna take it from there. See, people are locked in. We've got some viewers in there. What's good? What's good? All right, cool. Hopefully you guys can hear me with this, right? I think yesterday I had an issue with the audio capture not really going on the live. But yeah, I think you guys can hear me now. What's good, cuz? What's good, Narizzle Pie? Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys in the chat. All right, cool. Let's just jump straight into it now. All right, so this first trailer I'm going to go through is Only Murders in the Building. I've actually not watched this TV show before. It's a series that's on Hulu. So here in the UK, you can get it on Disney Plus. But I've heard really good reviews from it. And season 4 is releasing soon. So they dropped the trailer for it. So we're going to get into that. So let's go and watch it.
What's next podcast-wise?
What we need is a hot, fresh, dead body, preferably right here or very near to here. Somewhere lay a sniper's nest. You know this is happening. We might as well just start.
I just got an email. A Hollywood studio wants to make a movie of our podcast.
The pictures? Pack your bags, bitches. We're going to the movies.
Cheers.
Action.
Hello, Hollywood. Brazos. Yeah.
They don't recognize you.
They know
No, they
who
don't
you are.
know you. So you're really making this film?
Your life rights are the last thing we need, so.
What we need is a number.
This seems like a long
It's just
trailer.
a 4.
400, 4,000 million?
Or 5?
All right, so we've got season 4 coming in August. That looks alright, you know, but I still need to. I need to watch obviously season 1. Steve Martin, he's one of the creators on the show and also stars in it. Selena Gomez, I think, has been there since season 1, but you've got some new additions for this season. Some actors that I really like. And Hulu have been putting out some good stuff recently as well. Shogun, If you haven't seen that show, I've spoken about it before. And an incredible TV show. And I do like murder mystery stuff. So yeah, I think I'm looking forward to that. There's a nice gap in between now and August, so hopefully I can get through the first 3 seasons. But let me know in the chat if you guys, is this something that you guys want to watch? Is this something that you're into, like who done it type of stuff? All right, the next one is the one that I've been looking forward to. So South Park. There we go. So can we play? Thanks for liking the stream. If you're in the stream, give it a like. It helps with it helps the stream find more people. So appreciate that. You know, let me just go to YouTube. Yeah, so South Park, obviously they're known for spoofing a lot of the stuff that happens in real life. So they've done like an Apple one. They recently had like a COVID pandemic 2-part special I think like 2 years back. And now they seem to be returning with the end of obesity, which releases next week Friday on I think is it Paramount? Yeah, Paramount Plus. And basically, what's this? Yeah, and basically it looks like they're going to be taking the mick with the recent Ozempic situation, which has been going mad in Hollywood right now. If you don't know, Ozempic is, I think it's a drug that people with diabetes use it, but the Hollywood elite are now using this drug, this prescribed drug, as a way to lose weight. Oprah, I think, has been one of the key users of it. Obviously, the Kardashians, everyone's linking them to this. The recent Kendrick and Drake beef. Obviously, he had the album cover with the Ozempic bottle. So yeah, it looks like South Park are getting into it. So let's just have a little view of this short trailer.
Time for some drastic measures to bring down his weight. There's these new crazy drugs people are doing. Have you heard of semaglutides?
Semaglutide?
Ozempic, Monjaro.
You know, Cartman, this could be dangerous. Let's do it. We've been out navigating the American healthcare system. I almost died.
South Park, The End of Obesity. New exclusive event streaming May 24th.
Wow. Could this really happen?
Exclusively on Paramount Plus.
I like that. It's a little short trailer. South Park is my favorite in this like genre of TV shows like Family Guy, American Dad, The Simpsons. South Park is the GOAT. Like South Park is my favorite. I love how they always push the boundaries of comedy when it comes to their show. So I'm definitely going to be catching that next week. And it does look funny, and obviously Cartman losing weight is gonna be jokes. All right, next up, I've got the trailer for House of the Dragon season 2. So this is the Game of Thrones prequel. Season 1 came out, I think, 2 years ago. Amazing if you haven't watched it. Here in the UK, you can watch it on Now TV. But yeah, season 2 is right around the corner. June is actually a stacked month for releases. Yeah, June is looking... I mean, last year June was wicked. And this year June is looking great. So yeah, this releases... I want to say it releases on like the 17th of June, I think. It's a HBO original, so if you're in America, it'll be HBO Max. But here in the UK, you get it through Sky Atlantic on the Monday release. So this is the season 2 trailer. Anyone in the chat, if you've watched season 1, let me know your thoughts on how you feel about the House of Dragons season 1. I loved it. I just love the fact that we got way more dragons than we ever did in the first Game of Thrones TV show. But yeah, this is the trailer for season 2, so let's get into it.
The Targaryen who sits the Iron Throne is not just a king or a queen. They are a protector of the realm. Now I find myself in an impossible position.
All hail King Aegon!
The enemy usurped my throne.
We're going to King's Landing.
Well, what are we going to do about it?
We must play the board before us.
Proceed cautiously.
Fuck dignity! I want revenge.
Apologies if you got any kids. Although this stream does say it's not suited for kids. I didn't know there was going to be swearing in that, but yeah.
News spreads through the realm. The great houses will come to our side.
I did not think they would be so eager to die.
My ships sail at your command.
The realm's only hope is in a leader strong enough to unite it.
Do you accept me as your queen and ruler?
The visuals and the graphics in this look amazing. Like the first season, they did really well, but they have stepped the game up in this season. Wow.
Senseless war and send.
Shall none of us prevail?
Not like this.
Alicent holds love for our enemy. That makes her a fool.
The enemy without may be fought with swords. The enemy within is more insidious.
There is more than one way to fight a war.
War
Is coming, and neither of us may win.
Yeah, that looks hard. That looks hard. I'm a big Game of Thrones fan. Even though how it ended wasn't the greatest, they've resurrected it with that season 1 of House of the Dragon, and this season looks mad. What are you saying, Star Sentinel? Welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining. Anyone in the stream Game of Thrones fans? What did you feel about season 8? Oh man, I will never forgive them for that. But this looks hard. And that releases on, if you're in America, that releases on the 16th of June. Here in the UK, it will be, I think, like 2 a.m. on Monday the 17th, I believe, on through Sky. So yeah, that's looking hard. All right, the next trailer is a trailer for a film called Megalopolis. You may have seen a lot of chat online about this film because it's from Francis Ford Coppola, obviously director of the Godfather trilogy movies, and he's self-backed this film. He tried. The rumors are that he tried to offer this film to a lot of the production companies, but they didn't accept it. So he backed it. I think he self-funded. I think 120 mil, which is insane. And yeah, he's come out with this film. It premiered at the Cannes Film Festival last week. We're going to get into that in a little moment in the stream. But this is a trailer. I honestly don't know what is happening in this film. Like, I couldn't tell you what the film was about because nothing has been released online. Even the plot, which I'll go through later on in the show, is so vague. Like it's crazy. But yeah, so this film is called Megalopolis, stars Adam Driver, and this will be the first time that I've watched the trailer. I've seen like little clips here and there, but like I said, I don't really watch trailers these days. But for the show, I'm gonna watch it with you guys. So let's get into it.
When does an empire die? Does it collapse in one terrible moment? No. But there comes a time when its people no longer believe in it.
Don't let the now destroy the forever.
This trailer is so dark. Were those like moving statues?
Destroy the forever.
Yeah, they are.
Ladies and gentlemen, and children of all ages, welcome.
Is this society, is this way we're living, the only one that's available to us?
We are taking our city back.
And when we ask these questions, when there's a dialogue about them, that basically is a utopia.
I mean, it's a good trailer. But I couldn't tell you what I've just watched. I didn't gauge much about what to expect from the story. It looks to be like a political civil unrest wherever this is located. And I mean, the cast looks amazing though. Adam Driver, Giancarlo Esposito, Nathalie Emmanuel. Oh, Sheila Booth's in it. Aubrey Plaza, Jason Schwartzman, Dustin Hoffman, Lawrence Fishburne. I mean, I'm gonna watch it. Of course, I'll have my review for this film, but yeah, interesting trailer, and I'm gonna get into the final trailer watch, the Dune prequel. Now, this is called Dune Prophecy. If you didn't know, Dune is under Warner Bros. So the first Dune came out in 2021, and I wasn't the biggest fan. I mean, let me rewind that. I enjoyed the film, but I didn't love it. I gave it like a 3.5 out of 5. And at the time, I didn't really know much about Dune. I just felt empty. And then obviously after watching that film, and then I've got a couple of friends that have read the books and they understand the whole lore of everything. It was a much bigger plot. Dune is one of the early science fiction novels that films like Star Wars and stuff have copied and replicated. So I was excited for Dune 2 because that was going to complete the first book. And Dune 2, my gosh, what a film. That elevated everything from the first film to like the highest level. And I love that film. Anyone in the chat, if you've watched Dune, let me know your thoughts on it. But yeah, of course this film's making a lot of money. It's got massive stars attached to it. It's with Warner, so of course these guys are gonna churn stuff out. So this will be a TV series on Max. Here in the UK, it will be on Sky Atlantic through Sky TV, and it's called Dune Prophecy. So this is set 10,000 years before the birth of Paul Atreides, who Timothée Chalamet plays in the Dune movies. And I guess this is going to basically tell the story of how the Bene Gesserit came to be in this Dune universe. So this is the first teaser trailer. I have not watched this, so this is going to be a first time watch for me. So let's get into it.
10,000 years before the birth of Paul Atreides, before the universe would know us as the Bene Gesserit, we founded a sisterhood. Assigned to the great houses to help them sift truth from lies. We created a network of influence throughout the Imperium. But power comes with a price.
A sister on the throne. Nothing is more important. And this is the marriage that makes it possible. This is us playing God, and we will be judged for it. Valia Harkonnen.
Sisterhood above all.
Not bad. Not bad. That does look sick. And you know what? I actually like that they're doing this because the Bene Gesserit are such an interesting group of people in this Dune universe. If you've not read the books, like myself, I think this type of TV series that will start to explain, who certain characters are in the Dune universe, I think is such a great idea. And I thought the Bene Gesserit were like the overall, the overlords, the evil group of people, but they're not. They are just there to, I think, preserve the time stream and make sure things happen. So, and they're a political force, social force, a sisterhood, so all women. But Paul Atreides has the same power set that they do in the book, and that is what makes him so special. Where he's able to actually let me not ruin anything if you've not watched the Dune stuff. But yeah, that trailer looks alright. Let me know in the chat if you guys are looking forward to this prequel. But yeah, all right, cool. We're gonna get into the main topics of the show today. So we are starting with Comcast is gonna unveil a Netflix, Apple TV, and Peacock streaming bundle. Now, if you've been following me for a while, I've been on this topic ever since I want to say like last year, and even just with my friends and stuff, and when I go to screenings and speaking to people just in general, the streaming industry is right now it's in a mess, and it's at a point where I believe it's not a sustainable model. There are too many platforms. If here in the UK, if you were to have all the platforms, Netflix, Apple TV, Prime, Paramount, Peacock, I think ITV have got one, Sky Go, the list is just endless. And you would be spending over £100 a month. On top of this, the ideology of streaming has changed. It was supposed to be a more affordable way to watch entertainment. The Sky and the Virgin TVs that here in the UK we have been used to, they just got way too expensive. And when Netflix first came out, I want to say it was close to like a tenner, where you could have, I think 2 or 3 people on your bundle. If you just wanted the solo thing, you would have it at like £6 a month, and you could watch practically anything that you wanted. And from there, they just grew to be such a great streaming platform. But I would say in recent years, we have definitely seen a regress in the streamer model, because now ads have been introduced with Netflix and Amazon Prime. So for example, if you pay monthly for Amazon Prime, to get rid of the adverts, you have to pay extra. It's like an extra like £2 a month. Netflix, they have the lower price tier, and that includes ads. So yeah, I just feel the whole streaming game, there are too many players, too many partners, and these companies are not making as much money as they used to, because one person's going to have Netflix, and then when Apple brings something, they're going to cancel Netflix so they can pay for Apple, and so on and so on. You get what I mean? So yeah, it's just now become too expensive. Oh yeah, also we've also seen price increases, which is just getting a bit too much. And the streamers, they are losing out to the Fire Stick guys. You know who you are. If you've got a Fire Stick, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, I don't have a Fire Stick, but you know what I'm saying. But yeah, this news, it doesn't come as a surprise to me. I actually think we're going to start seeing the bigger players in the game buying certain platforms. Like, I have always said that Apple would buy Paramount. I've always thought that Microsoft would buy Netflix. But yeah, look, this is going to be a bundle. So Comcast is launching a new streaming bundle called Stream Saver. So I believe this is going to be first in America. I'm not sure what this is going to look like in Europe. But in America, it's going to be called Stream Save, and it's going to combine Peacock, Netflix, and Apple TV Plus. And it aims to retain subscribers, as I just mentioned, with the tough competition out there. The CEO, Brian Roberts, he highlights that the bundle's attractive pricing, which hasn't really been released yet. And this move, it also follows this whole bundle and combining with each other, because I think a few weeks ago, we've seen Warner Bros. And Walt Disney, they are also combining to make a streaming platform, which is going to be released, not a streaming platform, sorry, like a bundle where you'll get Disney Plus and Max in one payment, and you'll be able to use both streaming platforms. And yeah, so the streaming industry, it struggles with churn. So Peacock has 34 million subscribers. Netflix leads the way with almost 270 million subscribers. I think Apple TV are close to like 50. Disney Plus are over 150. But yeah, this is just now what I've been talking about for a while, that it's getting too expensive. There are too many players. So we're going to start to see a combination of these streaming giants connect together, because that's the only way they are going to make money together. But yeah, more details about the streaming bundle will be disclosed soon. So there's no pricing at the moment. There is no release date. But yeah, that is all the information now. But let me know what you guys think about this information in the comments. I think in the next few years, the streaming landscape is going to see some major changes. I don't think this model is sustainable. But yeah, that is that for this bundle. But sticking with bundles, and we're going to be moving over to the sports world. Disney, Fox, and Warner Bros. Discovery they have their own streaming bundle, but this is for sports, and it's called Venue Sports. So we're going to see Disney, ESPN, Warner Bros. Discovery. They have made a sports streaming bundle, which will debut fall this year, so September this year. And it aims to just solely cater to sports fans outside of traditional cable television. The service is going to combine ESPN Plus with linear TV networks like ABC, ESPN, Fox, and others. Again, like with the previous bundle, the pricing hasn't been announced yet. But I mean, to make this worth it for the companies, they're going to be charging close to like £30 a month. And I don't know how Disney Plus, how are they going to differentiate between Disney streaming and the sports streaming. It's going to be a challenge, especially, and to implement this across the whole world. Everyone's got different licensing agreements and stuff, so yeah, this is going to be a challenge. Regulatory approval still pending, and and there are concerns about anti competition, which basically means these guys could monopolize the whole sports market with this bundle. And yeah, if they're going to offer sports, they can now put Disney Plus, Hulu, Max all in the same bundle, and that kind of corners people into one space. And if you're someone like Netflix, that's kind of unfair, because it's like, hey, we are not in that world, but we can't do anything in that. So I think the Monopoly Commission will definitely be looking into this. But again, look, I echo the same thoughts that I have with the other streaming bundles. Right now, it's too much with sports. I think here in the UK, it's like £30 a month for BT Sports or TNT Sports. Sky Sports is like another £20-30 on top of that. Prime Video have Premier League games. So just to watch sports is like £60 to £70. If I add in, let's say, all the streaming to watch like your TV shows and movies, that's going to be close to £100. So we're talking over £150 for sports and entertainment, which is crazy. And this is why those Fire Stick sales have been going through the roof recently, because your average consumer, that is way too much money. £150. And especially with the cost of living these days, it's too much money. Too much money. So that is all the information on this new sports streaming bundle. But like I said before, look, the streaming game, we're going to see massive shakeups. And of course, I'll be keeping you guys updated when more news becomes available. But let me know in the chat your thoughts on these two streaming bundles. Are you excited? Are you excited for this? Are you a sports fan? Do you see this working out? Just drop me something in the chat. And don't forget, if you're watching the stream, give it a like. I see a couple of people in here. What's good, people? Thank you for joining the stream. You finished X-Men. So I'm just catching up with chat at the moment. Not into June. Where did I get my trim? My trim. Shout out to Barber Luke in Ealing Broadway. I've been going to him since I'm 11. Since 11 years old. What's that? Over 20 years now. That's crazy. Yeah, that's where my trim comes from. You're not into June. How come you're not into June? Anyway, we're gonna move on to the next topic of the show. We are getting a new Insidious movie confirmed for August 2025. Any Insidious fans? What's good? South Ealing. Sorry, not Ealing Broadway. South Ealing. Yeah, Insidious. We are getting a new film. There is no title, so it's just the fifth or sixth Insidious movie. It's slated for an August 29th, 2025 release by Sony. There are, no details about the cast or the plot, because that is super early right now. But yeah, this upcoming entry, it follows last year's Insidious: The Red Door, and this will mark the sixth installment in the Insidious franchise. Despite previous indications that this franchise was done, that Red Door kind of felt like a closed book, like they were done with the Insidious franchise, but seems to be a short break. Any Insidious fans in the chat, let me know. Any horror fans? But yeah, now I like the earliest Insidious movies. That first movie was really good. I remember that demon in the top corner. That definitely scared me. I didn't have nightmares, but that definitely was a jump scene. But as the series progressed, I could see the quality and just feel the quality dropping. That last film, Insidious: The Red Door, my gosh, that was a bad horror movie. And I thought, like I said, I thought that was going to be the last Insidious movie. Thought the chapter was closed, but this film makes money. And in Hollywood, if something makes money, we are going to see 10,000 sequels until it stops making money. Now, if we go to the box office history of the Insidious movies, and whilst I was typing up this information, this is really impressive, and I understand why we're getting a sixth Insidious film. Guys, the first Insidious movie cost $1.5 million to make, and it made nearly $100 million. Chapter 2, $5 million, over $160 million. 10 million for chapter 3, 120 million. So a bit of a dip there. The Last Key, 10 million budget, went up 172 million. And last year's one, the Red Door, $60 million budget, so the most they've spent on an Insidious movie, but it made $186 million. That return on investment you do not see all the time in Hollywood right now. Back in the day, you could, because you had the cinema release, and then you had the VHS and DVD, as we, VHS is showing my age here, but then you had the DVD release. But ever since everything has gone onto digital, there's just no money in the second wind market. So for this film to have, they've not broken $20 million for making this movie, and the return on investment, this is nearly $1 billion franchise with the 5 films. They've spent $42.5 million across the 5 films, and globally, worldwide box office, it's made $741 million. I mean, props to them, man. That I can't argue with that. So yeah, we're getting a new Insidious film. I hope the levels improve with this new one, because there is scope for it to continue, maybe with different characters. We don't have to continue with the previous characters, even though they are a major draw to the franchise. But I just want to see another banger come out of this Insidious franchise. So yeah, let me know in the comments, are you guys a fan of the Insidious films? I mean, the numbers proven that even though I'm not the biggest fan of Insidious, there are thousands of people that love this film, because those numbers are insane. So yeah, crazy stuff right there. Catching up with chat at the moment. All right, cool. Sticking with horror news. 90s Babies. You should know this title. I know what you did last summer. Sticking with Sony as well, who own the rights to this film. Sony Pictures are releasing a revival of I Know What You Did Last Summer on the 18th of July 2025. It's going to be directed by Jennifer Caitlin Robinson and produced by Neil Mortiz. And it's going to feature a script co-written by the director Robinson and Sam Lansky. Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. are reportedly set to return to reprise their roles from the original 1997 movie. This film, basically, the movie follows a group of friends haunted by a mysterious figure after covering up a car accident. When I was younger, this film was cool. Like, I wouldn't say this sits high in my list of horror films, but when I watched them when I was younger, they were cool. I must say the Scary Movie version sticks with me more. I think it was Scary Movie 1, where they hit the guy, but he ends up being alive, and then I think they throw the bottle and it knocks him unconscious, and then they throw him in the sea. But that Scary Movie version sticks with me more. And you know what? Scary Movie in general has replaced a lot of horror movie moments for me, because whenever I think back to a horror sequence, the Scary Movie version always comes up first in my head. I don't know if that's just me, but yeah, it always pops up in my head. But yeah, I've watched all of the I Know What You Did Last Summer. There was like a sequel that came out. Can't remember when did it come out. Can't remember when it came out. I think there was That was it. 2098 sequel, yeah. 98 sequel. Then there was one in 2006. I Will Always Know What You Did Last Summer. I can't remember them, so just don't ask me if they were good films. But and then they had like this Amazon Prime TV show, which was like a reimagining of I Know What You Did Last Summer, but it was targeted towards a younger crowd, younger demographic. And I think I watched like the first one or two episodes, and yeah, it weren't for me. It weren't for me. I actually didn't like that. So yeah, so interesting that they are doing a new I Know What You Did Last Summer. We're seeing a lot of reboots of horror films recently, so you know, maybe with the recent Scream movies, you had Evil Dead Rise. They've seemed to be doing really well, and I am a big fan of slasher films, and this movie does sit in that slasher-esque type of movie. But yeah, scary movie 10 out of 10. Yeah, I'm telling you, scary movie is a class. Apparently they are bringing a scary movie back. But yeah, I Know What You Did Last Summer reboot lands next summer in 2025. Keeping it with the horror, this is the last topic of horror movies. We are getting a Jason universe, a Friday the 13th universe. It's going to expand way beyond that we've seen before. So reported by IGN, Horror Inc., who owns the rights to the Jason Friday the 13th universe, they are expanding the Friday the 13th franchise across various platforms. So they haven't announced it yet, so new projects will be announced throughout 2024 via their social media and trailers and whatever. But the president of Horror Inc. Said that they aim to honor the franchise's legacy while engaging modern horror audiences. So, you know, I think we're going to see. Take care, cuz. Thank you for joining the stream. Thank you for joining the stream. Appreciate that. Yeah, so they aim to expand this so through films, TV shows, and I think video games and comic books, and they're gonna make this whole Jason universe from Jason Voorhees. Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street, so Jason and Freddy Krueger, were some of my favorite horror films growing up. And I've actually eagerly been awaiting a new Nightmare on Elm Street, but I think the rights to that film are somewhat in the air at the moment. There is no clarity of what they're doing with that franchise. But I'm happy that we're getting a refresh of Jason Voorhees content. So, and I'm pretty sure we'll be seeing a film mentioned soon. There's an A24 and Peacock prequel called Crystal Lake, which is coming out, I think, later this year. I believe it was later this year. And then there was a video game released a couple of years back, which looked fun. So basically, you could either play as Jason as an online game. You could either play as Jason or people hiding from Jason. And yeah, it's just him chasing you around. But yeah, the A24 and Peacock prequel series, I'm down for that. A24, if you don't know, are behind some of the biggest films of recent years. Everything Everywhere All at Once is one of them. And, you know, I like A24 because they seem to be one of the few production companies that are taking risk with stories. Not all of them bang. Like, I think Beau's Afraid with Joaquin Phoenix, I wasn't the biggest fan of that movie, but I appreciated that they're trying to tell, you know, new stories. And that is what I have been calling for in Hollywood recently. So, and A24 seemed to do well with horror. They had that movie last year called Talk to Me, where, you know, you grab the hand and the demon comes into you. But yeah, as I mentioned, there are no further updates with this Jason universe apart from it's been announced. I reckon over the summertime we'll see a movie title announced, and more TV series to build from that A24 and anything surrounding Friday the 13th universe. But let me know what you guys think about. Are you guys fans of the Friday the 13th Jason Let me know which ones you prefer though. Do you prefer Nightmare on Elm Street or Friday the 13th? Can I do a poll in here? I can do a poll, can't I? Yeah. Let me do a poll. You guys in the chat, show me which ones you prefer. And I'll see what you guys prefer. All right, cool. So that is it for the horror stuff on today's show. So next we're going to take it over to Prime Video and some updates over there. So Sony have they own the rights to Spider-Man. So all the Tom Holland stuff, all the animated Across the Spider-Verse, all of that is under Sony. But they had a deal with Amazon at one point where they were going to do a Silk Spider Society live action series. But Variety posted an article this week, and that series is no longer moving forward at Amazon. So it's still around, but yeah, it's not going to be at Amazon, unfortunately. So they've cancelled the Silk Spider Society live action series. It was originally slated for a release on MGM Plus before going on Prime Video as a global launch. You've got the executive producers from Sony, from the Marvel Sony stuff. So Phil Lord, Christopher Miller, Amy Pascal were all behind it. And the series was a part of a deal between Amazon and Sony Pictures Television for Marvel-based character shows. So Sony still plan to shop the series to other buyers. And what's strange is that this cancellation, it follows Amazon's announcement of a Spider-Man noir series starring Nicolas Cage, which I'll be mentioning in a moment. And yeah, it's interesting. I don't know why Amazon would cancel it. Sony control over 900 Marvel characters, which is part of the whole Spider-Man universe. Later this year, there's got theatrical releases for the last Venom film, so Venom 3 and Kraven the Hunter. But yeah, interesting because Amazon, they do well when it comes to their superhero content. You've got Invincibles, The Boys, Gen V, all shows that I love. If you haven't watched them, you need to watch them. But yeah, in the article, it does say that there were rumblings that Amazon wanted to refocus the show with a more male skewing audience in mind, which would make sense given the company's success with shows like The Boys, like the spin-off Gen V, Fallout, Reacher, and Jack Ryan, which are definitely targeted towards men, but both women and men love these series. But yeah, there's definitely a macho feel to the superhero side of Amazon. But the log line for this Silk series is that the show was going to follow Cindy Moon. So she is a Korean American woman who is bitten by the same spider that bit Peter Parker, and she would escape imprisonment and searches for her missing family on her way to becoming the superhero known as Silk. So she's basically just another variant of Spider-Man in an alternate universe. Maybe this will end up on Netflix because I believe Netflix and Sony also have a contract between each other that, once the theatrical release of Sony movies are done, the films end up on Netflix. But yeah, interesting news. We'll see where that goes. Sticking with Spider-Man, as I mentioned, Spider-Man Noir. Nicolas Cage will be starring in the live-action Spider-Man Noir series at MGM Plus, which will be on Amazon Prime Video. He's reprising his role. So he did play this role in the animated TV show Into the Spider-Verse, which is a great film if you haven't watched it. And this is going to be produced by Phil Lord and Christopher Miller and Amy Pascal, who are all behind the Sony stuff that happens with all the Spider-Man characters. It will be produced by Sony Pictures, but Amazon and MGM Studios will be the distributors of this show. So Spider-Man Noir will be part of Phil Lord and Christopher Miller's overall deal with Sony. For those who don't know, Phil Lord and Christopher Miller are a filmmaking duo. They are behind some great titles like 21 Jump Street, the Lego Movie, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. If you haven't watched that film, definitely go and watch that film. Back in 2019, Phil Lord and Chris Miller, they signed a 5-year deal with Sony that includes live action and animated series in both comedy and dramas. And as I mentioned, Nicolas Cage voiced Spider-Man Noir in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And this character actually did really well in that series, so it makes sense as to why they are making this into a live action series. I think it's going to be really cool. Spider-Man Noir is an alternate version of Spider-Man. So he's set in the 1930s New York. It's a lot grittier. There's like a monochromatic look to Spider-Man Noir. So I think the production behind this can have a lot of fun with its look and feel of the show. It doesn't really have to appeal to the same market that the OG Spider-Man has to. And I know Spider-Man is targeted towards the younger generation, but I would love to see this be a mature, like 15 or rated R TV show, done in like a similar format to like The Boys. I think that's what makes The Boys work so well, is that we've had years and years and years, apart from like the Blade movies, I think Watchmen and a few others, but years and years of Marvel and DC just doing really like, funfair type films. And The Boys came out and it's not a funfair film. It's gritty. You're seeing blood and guts everywhere and swearing and stuff. So it would be cool if they could do that to Spider-Man, make an adult version of Spider-Man. Nicolas Cage has definitely had like a resurgence in recent years, and some of his films have been really good. And yeah, I'm happy for him. I'm definitely going to be keeping my eye on this news when more comes out. But yeah, let me know in the comments your thoughts on this Spider-Man news. Are you fans of Spider-Man? Do you like the Tom Holland stuff? Yeah, let me know. But yeah, we're going to stick with Amazon Prime Video. And there is news of Roadhouse 2. That has been confirmed. Roadhouse 2 has been confirmed. The reimagining of Patrick Swayze's Roadhouse did extremely well for Amazon Prime Video, with nearly 80 million views in I think first week or so, something like that. So if you're getting 80 million views, it's only a matter of time until we get a sequel or even like a planned trilogy. Jake Gyllenhaal is set to reprise his role as Elwood Dalton in this Roadhouse sequel. There was a sequel, Roadhouse 2, that released back in 2006. I've not watched it, but doing some research online, that movie wasn't well received. So I think this is basically just gonna erase all of that stuff and just start fresh. But I didn't mind Roadhouse. I still need to watch the original Patrick Swayze. I've spoken to some people who, didn't really like this Roadhouse. I think the essence that Patrick brought to that film, and obviously the era that it was set in, it was allowed to do certain things where this one had to be modern but also keep the essence of Roadhouse. But I didn't mind the film. I thought it was really cool. I thought Jake Gyllenhaal was great in the film. Story, easy to understand. Love the fighting sequences in the movie. It was a really cool film. Conor McGregor, but he was fun. He played his part in the series. He was fun. He did what he needed to do. But yeah, there's no release date for this. I reckon this will probably be coming June 24. I reckon this will be a 2026 release. But yeah, Roadhouse 2 has been confirmed. If you've watched it, let me know in the comments down below your thoughts on Roadhouse. But I'm looking forward to this. I like Jake Gyllenhaal. I've watched most of his movies. So yeah. All right, next up, we're sticking with Amazon Prime. And oh, did I get the wrong one? What's this now? There we go. And Mr. and Mrs. Smith has been renewed for season 2 over at Amazon. But Donald Glover and Maya Erskine are not expected to return. So similar to Roadhouse, Mr. and Mrs. Smith was a reimagining of the 2005 movie of the same name with Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. And this was another hit for Amazon. And big news. Interesting why there are rumors, or the report is Donald Glover and Maya Erskine are not returning. I know Donald Glover. He's also a musician. His artist name is Childish Gambino. So, and he's got an album. I'm assuming he's gonna have a tour, and I'm assuming Amazon would want to start filming season 2 because this TV show isn't really wouldn't take long to shoot. It's not like a feature movie where you've got a minimum 3 months. You could probably shoot this show in a couple of weeks, but maybe the timings for Donald Glover just doesn't match up with his music schedule. But he still is a producer on the show, so yeah, it doesn't make sense why he wouldn't be in season 2 when he's still producing it. I don't know, but I wasn't the biggest fan of this series, I will admit. I like the relationship dynamic between Donald and Maya's character. I thought that was the strongest element to the show. But the whole spy action and the story didn't quite marry well for me. It just didn't join that well for me. So yeah, with season 2 confirmed, I hope that they can improve the spy action. The whole love story stuff was done really well. But I just needed better spy. And also the story, it felt like, they were like time jumping and certain plot points were happening and I was a bit confused. I was like, okay, we were just here. Why are we here? I don't know. But it did very well. A lot of people like the show. So I know I'm in the minority in terms of, loved this show. I didn't love it, but, I didn't hate it. But I know I'm in the minority when it comes to this show. But yeah, big news for Amazon, man. I think that they are doing very well with their releases. They just keep knocking them out the park. And last on Amazon Prime, what is that? What is this? Season 5 of The Boys has been confirmed. But we haven't even got season 4 yet. Season 4 releases in June, early June. But we now have season 5 confirmed with Amazon. And yeah, this is great news. There's just under a month to go until we have season 4. And I cannot wait for that. Of course, don't worry, guys. I will have my review for that. Have I watched it or not? I'm joking. I can't really say it. But yeah, season 5 is confirmed by the show's creator, Eric Kirby. They confirmed that the writers are already working on season 5. The Boys has become a flagship show for Prime Video. And, we've had now 4 seasons. We've had a spin-off, Gen V, with season 2 of Gen V confirmed as well. And there is much more in the pipeline. So I'm excited for this, man. Season 5 details are obviously, they remain unknown. But this is going to keep fans like myself intrigued. I'm happy about this, but I think I don't want to see this TV show or this title rinsed. I think they're probably going to go to like a season 6 or season 7 with some spin-offs in between. I kind of hope after season 4 that we get a break from the main storyline if they are going to start doing spin-off series. Because whilst I don't want them to stretch it to like 10, 12 seasons like The Walking Dead. At the same time, I don't want them to take too long. So I'm that fan that's caught in the middle. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Big news. And of course, you know, once more news comes out about anything to do with The Boys, I'll be having you guys updated. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you guys are fans of The Boys. You know, what is are you going to be watching season 4? Are you not a fan of The Boys? Is it something that you're into? Let me know. All right, cool. So, if you joined in at the start of the show, I played the trailer for Francis Ford Coppola's Megalopolis, and this was premiered at the Cannes Film Festival earlier last week. And as I mentioned, I honestly don't know what to expect from this film. And the details of this movie have been kept under wraps. And the only news online is that the movie is expected to explore themes of power, corruption, and redemption within the context of a vast, complex urban environment. That is all that is online. So yeah, it had its film premiere at the Cannes Film Festival. There was apparently a 7-minute standing ovation, but also at the same time, there were boos in the crowd, which is nuts. I've not seen any full reviews. I've just seen glimpses here on Twitter. But this film seems like it's going to be a Marmite movie. Like, I think you're either going to love this film or hate it. Let's quickly go through some tweets about this movie. So, I think there was one tweet. Where is it now? Let's go to latest. Can't see. There was one tweet that I saw, and Twitter's annoying because once you click off it, it refreshes everything. All right, let's see what this person's review is. Can it translate it? Nah. So apparently the critics have trashed this film. What was that tweet? Yeah, discussing film. So Francis Ford Coppola's Megalopolis. I hope I'm pronouncing this title right. I hope I am. But yeah, it's an atomic mess on all fronts where not even the actors on screen know what the hell is going on. That is harsh. An atomic mess. I don't know what else to say. I mean, obviously, I go into films with, you know, my own expectations, and my reviews will always be mine. But when you're hearing atomic mess, like I said, this is going to be a Marmite film. I don't know when this movie is going to release in the UK, but of course, I will have my review when it releases here. But Francis is a legend. You know, he's a 5-time Academy Award winner, 6 Golden Globes, 2 Palme d'Ors at the Cannes Film Festival, and a BAFTA. Not many directors can talk to him. And let's not forget, he directed and wrote The Godfather Part 2 and Part 3, Apocalypse Now, and many more films. So no, not many directors can chat to Francis. His film resume is solidified. But yeah, if when this film releases, I will have my review for it. If you've watched the trailer, if you was here at the start of the show, let me know your thoughts on it, on what you've watched. But yeah, that's about it that I have for this movie. Now moving over to Shogun. Now, this is one of the best TV shows to release this year and in recent years. And if you've not watched this show, where have you been, guys? Like, where have you been? So Shogun is based off a novel by James Clavell, and it was adapted into a TV miniseries which appeared on Hulu, aka Disney Plus. And it basically follows an English sailor named John Blackthorne, and he experiences events after being shipwrecked in Japan during the 17th century Civil War. And amidst like political things happening, Blackthorne has to navigate through cultural clashes and samurai hierarchy. And the show, with that, offers insights into Japanese society during that time. And the story basically explores themes of honor, loyalty, diplomacy against the backdrop of historical events. And it is a fantastic series. And the way it ended, it was perfect. And we were told this is a limited series. I think there's one book. So there's not been anything written after this. It's one book, it's a limited series. That was it. And I was happy with that. The way it ended, it was perfect. Well, that's changed, guys, because Shogun has been renewed, not just for season 2, but for season 3. I mean, like I said at the top end of this show, if something makes money, they're going to keep churning them out. And this show, within the first 6 days, gained like 9 million views globally across Hulu and Disney Plus. And the reviews for this show are all like 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5, 4 out of 5 stars. So it's a fantastic show. But I just felt they should have just left this as a one and done. Similar to like The Night Of, which is on HBO or Sky Atlantic. That is a series that I always recommend to people because it just wraps up the story so well. Great acting, cinematography, everything. And it didn't need a part 2 or a third. And I think, we don't always need a season 2 or a sequel of everything. Especially with TV shows. This was so well done as a concise, short, limited series. And whilst I don't get this twisted, I love Shogun and I will be watching season 2 and season 3. But now I'm gonna be watching these seasons with a magnifying glass because it has huge shoes to fill, massive shoes to fill. But yeah, let me know in the comments your thoughts. Have you watched Shogun? Have you seen it advertised? Have you seen people talking about it? If you haven't watched it, you are a lucky viewer because you're gonna go into the show not knowing anything, and I definitely recommend watching it. It's dialogue heavy, so don't watch it at like midnight when you're before bed. Treat this like a Game of Thrones, Succession. That is the type of level that this TV series is. And yeah, it's just such a brilliant show. Catching up with chat. Cool. All right, next. So we had some titles that were announced during last week. So I'm just going to quickly go through them. First one is we have another John Wick spin-off confirmed. And my guy, Donnie Yen, is set to return as the assassin character that he played in John Wick Chapter 4. So we've already had the spin-off series, The Continental, on Amazon Prime. If you've watched that, let me know in the stream. Did you like it? Did you not? I wasn't the biggest fan of that. We also have a spin-off movie called Ballerina, which is set to release next year, which happens, I think the film is set between John Wick 3 and John Wick 4. there are rumors of a new John Wick film. I don't know why, but that film made a lot of money, so it makes sense. And then, and now this is a spin-off movie. It's going to be based off his character Kane. No, obviously, no details have been released, no story, but the movie will follow the events of John Wick 4. So Kane has been freed from his obligations to the High Table. That's what happened in John Wick 4, basically. I hope Rina Sawayama is in this because I did like her in the John Wick movie, John Wick Chapter 4. And, you know, Donnie Yen, Ip Man, one of my favorite martial arts films, and even in John Wick 4, he just took it to a new level. So I'm happy for this. I'm super happy for this. Let me know in the comments your thoughts. You know, are you a John Wick 4 fan? Let me know. Let me know. Another quick update. Squid Game. Squid Game Season 2 has apparently been confirmed for a December 2024 release. I've had a lot of people asking me when's Squid Game gonna happen, when's Squid Game Season 2. Well, now you know, guys. Squid Game Season 2 is releasing later this year, December time. And I was a latecomer to Squid Game. I think I watched it after its initial release. And I loved it. Great show. And I'm highly anticipating Season 2. Like, I can't wait for Season 2. And I'm happy that it's coming this year. It's been like, what, 3 years since Season 1 of Squid Game. So, yeah, December this year, we're getting Squid Game Season 2. Yeah, man. John Wick is one of my favorite action movie franchises, and I'm happy that we are getting a new spin-off with Donnie Yen's character. I'm gassed for that. Yeah, any Squid Game fans, let me know if you're excited for this season coming in later this year. And then one last update for any of you Mortal Kombat fans out there. Mortal Kombat 2 finally has a release date. The 25th of October 2025 is when Mortal Kombat 2 will be out. I actually can't believe the recent Mortal Kombat film was released in 2021. That feels like it was released no longer than 18 months ago. I wasn't the biggest fan of that movie, but it did produce one of the coolest scenes in cinema. You know what, actually? Let me get that out quickly because this scene is just too fun. This scene is too... You see when he said, "Get over here"? That is what I wanted in Mortal Kombat. It just didn't have enough of that. But this scene here, crazy. Crazy. Yeah, this one's too funny. Too sick. Have you guys watched this Mortal Kombat film? But yeah, that's all I'm gonna play. But yeah, Mortal Kombat 2, October 25th of October 2025. And that brings me to the last bit of the show today, and got some Marvel updates. So we received release dates and new posters for upcoming Marvel titles. So the big one, or one of the big ones, is Agatha All Along, which will be a WandaVision spin-off that has been confirmed for a September 18th, 2024 release. If you watch WandaVision, Agatha played a massive part in that series. I'm not going to ruin anything, because if you haven't watched it, you need to watch it. But I am looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to this. The second biggest one is Daredevil Born Again, which is one of my most anticipated titles. Daredevil Born Again. Where is it now? Got a new logo. There we go. There we go. I hate these pop-ups. Boom. So yeah, Daredevil Born Again, which is one of my most anticipated Marvel titles. It's expected to release March 2025. Now, this will be somewhat of a continuation from the Netflix Daredevil series. That Daredevil series on Netflix, even if you take out the Marvel element to that show, it's such a good TV show. Like, it was so grounded, great acting, great story. Vincent D'Onofrio, like, it's brilliant. So of course Marvel are going to do their Marvel thing, the MCU, and, you know, bring this within the whole MCU timeline, but we're still getting the same characters, and it will just continue a storyline from Daredevil. And the last title is Ironheart, which I actually completely forgot is coming out sometime in 2025. Ironheart, she appeared in the recent Black Panther Wakanda Forever, and she's now getting a TV series. She's supposed to be, you know, the new Tony Stark-esque type character, where she's able to build things, build an Iron Man suit and stuff. But my one out of all of those three is Daredevil Born Again. I cannot wait for that show. I'm upset though with Daredevil Born Again. It was supposed to be 18 episodes, but now it's only going to be 9 episodes. But they could, you know, do a part 1 and part 2 of season 1, so they could release 9 episodes, and then later on they could do the other 9 episodes. But I don't like that. I want to go back to like old school TV shows where you had like 15 to 20 episodes of a TV show, and then the next season came the following year. I hate this 9 episode TV show. It's so frustrating. So yeah, those are all the quick updates. And we're coming in time for an hour and a half, which is I wanted the stream to be. So let me know in the comments your thoughts on this. Are you Daredevil fans? Are you not? But yeah, let's quickly go into the chat. Just catching up the chat. Everyone's asking where I got my trim from. Got my trim from Barbalute, South Ealing. Shout out to Barbalute. Yeah. All right, cool. Well, that's going to be the end of the stream, guys. Appreciate tuning in with me for an hour and a half, giving me your Saturday evening. Hopefully the show was good. Hopefully, you know, I got you excited for some titles coming out. And yeah, until next time, guys. Peace.